What's up everybody, King of Fomo here, coming at you with your daily crypto update. It's been a while since I did my last video and my live stream, so we're going to do a little bit of a live stream here today on Pulsechain. Just a quick update to see kind of where we're at with this whole thing, and look at the price overall. So some exciting stuff, some exciting updates that we're going to talk about here. Let me just get all set up here. Get rid of this. Alright, so, first of all, the reason why I haven't been making videos over the past couple days is I've been focusing on my other travel-based YouTube channel. Sometimes that's just going to happen. I enjoy making those videos a lot more, so sometimes I spend like a week doing that, and then I get back into the crypto videos if I have the chance. So, we're getting back to the crypto videos right now. So, like I said, Pulsechain's sitting at about 0.015 cents right now. So this is pretty low compared to the last time we took a look at it. We're pretty much close to the all-time low. But over the past day, if you were looking at this and you were looking for a good buy opportunity to get back into Pulsechain or maybe pick up some Pulse, I think that the past day or so has been a really, really good opportunity. Man, I really wish I did sell my Pulse at the tippity top, and I would have been buying in at about 0.013 cents at that time. That would have been a really good buy-in point, and I would have been happy with that. However, I didn't. I ended up buying back my Pulse because actually tomorrow, hopefully I'll have some more content to show you guys, because I'm going to be setting up my Pulsechain Validator and running with that for the duration. So when you run a Validator, I mean, you're not really in it for the long haul, because with Ethereum you're in it for the long haul because it takes like 40 days to get on to be a validator, and sometimes it takes a very long time to get out. But with Pulsechain, since it's fairly new, it doesn't really take that long for validators to go online or offline, so the lockup period is less intensive there. And I think if we scroll down here and take a look at the validators, there are currently 63 entering, so I should be able to get in within the day with such a small amount entering and 0 exiting. Now, I do have to check and see if validators can even exit, because I haven't seen any validators exiting since then. We can take a look at that maybe in this live stream and see kind of what's going on there. But let's take a look at the price. Let's look a little bit closer into price and see what's happening right here. So as we can see, Pulsechain is not its all-time low. Obviously, the first day was pretty crazy, wonky price movements all the way down to 0.03 cents. Rocketed all the way up to an all-time high of 0.028. I'm sorry, that was 0.003 cents, and rocketed all the way up to 0.02829 cents, and now it's pretty much at about half of the price of where it was at all-time high. So you basically lost 50% of unrealized gains if you didn't sell your Pulse. I think that we could definitely go either way in this direction. Now, I'm going to give you some points to think about for Pulsechain, both positive and negative, so that you have an idea of kind of what to expect in the future. But I can see it going both directions. I can see us recovering back to where we were before, and I can also see us dumping further, just a little bit more. Honestly, I don't see a huge dump incoming, but just a little bit more of a dump, and then some sideways movement until we get a little bit more news here with Pulsechain. So let's talk about some of the things to expect in the future. Now, I mentioned this in my last live stream for Pulsechain. I think that one of the big catalysts for growth for Pulse, PulseX, and Hex is going to be being listed on major exchanges. And I mentioned that one of the downsides to that is it's going to be tough. It's going to be tough to be listed on some massive exchanges because of some discrepancies with the supply and, you know, where most of the coins are even at and the market cap in general. I think a lot of coin aggregators and exchanges don't like to see this propped up market cap if we have so much more supply, but a lot of that supply is not accessible because it's in the hands of the origin address. So I think that's a red flag for a lot of exchanges. But if they can get over that, and if it gets listed on other places, I think there's so much more room for growth with that. Now, we are listed on OKX, which is a pretty large exchange in itself. So, you know, we'll see kind of how that pans out for us in the long run. So that's, I think, one of the biggest catalysts. And yeah, I'm really trying. This is kind of, we're going to move into some downsides here. So Pulsechain, I'm not gonna be one of those guys that's a super duper Pulse chain or Hex cheerleader and telling you that, sort of lying to you and saying that Pulse chain and Hex is revolutionary in crypto. Honestly, if you really look at it and you're honest with yourself, Pulse chain is an EVM, Ethereum virtual machine, or an Ethereum clone with a couple of extra bells and whistles added to it. And there's a lot of other chains that are similar to that. So you can kind of look on this sidebar right here and see that there's a lot of other chains that did this. And I talked about this on one of my first Pulse chain videos. So with like a lot of people are sort of fudding Pulse because that's all it is. And maybe some promoters or Richard Hart or other people were being a little misleading, saying that this was a chain that's going to revolutionize the crypto space and make it so much better for everyone. Like, honestly, I've been in the game long enough to know that that's not what this is. This is an EVM clone with a little extra bells and whistles. Now, even with that knowledge known, that doesn't mean that Pulse chain is a garbage chain. It doesn't mean it's useless. It doesn't mean that it's going to die in comparison with everything else. Because, like I said before, all of these other chains that you see are pretty similar to that. They're EVM chains with a couple extra bells and whistles added to it. So I don't think that it needs to have that much more utility other than what it is right here to become massively popular and used over time. And I mentioned this before, the main value for these EVM chain clones is the user base. If the chain has a lot of users, then you're going to have a lot of development, you're going to have a lot of volume, and the other metric here that you guys want to pay attention to is TVL, this total value locked. This is a very important metric to know if your chain is alive, right? How much money is staying on the chain instead of leaving the chain, right? If this TVL continues to stay at this number or goes up, that's going to be good news overall. But yeah, like I said, I don't think that it matters that much, that it doesn't do much else. Having cheaper fees as it is what most of these chains claim is a big attractor to it, right? Binance Smart Chain, Arbitrum, Optimism, Polygon, all of these other chains that have launched, they've all said, hey, we're better than Ethereum because we have cheaper fees, right? And Pulse Chain does right now have cheaper fees. And we're better than Ethereum because we're faster. Now, Pulse Chain isn't necessarily faster, I don't think, but it's fast enough to work and have some cheap fees. All right, so we can talk a little bit more about that. Let me go ahead and check the chat. I know some of you guys kind of joined a little bit late here. Let's see what's going on here. Gonna open the chat this way. What's up, Mendoza? Scam is over. Pulse equals BS chain. Mendoza says Pulse is a BS chain. Yeah, and that's the other thing. Like a lot of people claim that Pulse is a scam chain. I wouldn't really go that far. Pulse is a functioning chain. Most people who sacrifice for Pulse, at least, are still up 1.58x. And I think there's still room for growth if you ignore that origin address. And even if you think about it, like if you really want to get deep into the meta of Pulse and Hex and all that stuff, Richard Hart's usually got some tricks up his sleeve to help the price of things that he launches to people at an unknown date. So we don't know, and that's sort of an upside downside. With Hex and Pulse, a lot of its growth came from this anticipation of Pulse Chain coming out. And now that Pulse Chain is out, I'm not really sure what the next catalyst is for the Hexicans and the Pulse Bros. As far as, people anticipating, oh, we can't wait for this next thing to come out. And that's sort of my concern is what is keeping people holding this token and keeping people invested in this for the long term. It's a concern that is definitely there, but of course you also have the opposite side of that coin where the majority of people who have been following Pulse and have poured tons and tons of money into this already are indeed Richard Hart super fans, right? And they're likely not going to be, all of them are not likely going to be people that are going to abandon this coin, even if you have some downside. And we can see that today. We saw that yesterday, even though we had, pretty much the local all-time low of 0.014 cents, we had some recovery and we're sort of moving sideways at this point. So yeah, there is that. I think that the the community itself will prop this up for time to come. And then you have other cases to follow too, like Zen, where you have just a community propped up coin last for basically an indefinite amount of time. You can look at Shiba Inu. It's a community propped up coin, propped up by the community. Dogecoin, community propped up coin, and a few others too. I mean, there's a couple that have launched recently that I'm curious to see their community propped up coins, but will they stand the test of time? One of them is Ben, Refund, these two right here, these biggest losers right here. Now, this is going to be a good test to see whether or not these community propped up coins will survive. Are the community strong enough to keep this thing going, right? So Ben is currently down 60% from 5 days ago, still up 600% from 22 days ago. And we'll see how this works. And these are good case studies to follow to see whether or not chains and coins like Pulse will survive. Because, like, it's a little funny. I mean, again, I've been around the space long enough to know that people that call chains and coins scams usually say, this is a scam, but look at my coin. This coin's really good. It's got great utility. It's the best. And then we look at their coin, and then 2 years down the line, even though it has all this quote-unquote utility and use case, their coin is down 95%. Meanwhile, the quote-unquote scam coins are still surviving. So I think that definitely could be a place of where Pulse could be in the future, as a community propped up coin. It's like, regardless of not whether people call it scams or not, I mean, people have been saying Shiba Inu is a scam for the past 2 years. Pulse or Doge is a scam for the past couple of years, but they're perfectly fine. So if that is a concern that you have and you're holding Pulse, I wouldn't really worry too much about it. Other people calling the chain or the coin useless. In fact, a lot of times the opposite happens when a lot of people hate coins. But like I said, I'm also not sitting here and being a Pulsechain fan or a Hex fanboy. I'm also very aware of its setbacks and downsides, and aware of the fact that it can go a lot lower than what we're seeing right here. Honestly, I'm still pretty surprised that we're at 1.5x the sacrifice price. A lot of people are still in profit, and you know, with grifter coins or grifting chains, where you have a lot of greedy people in there, you wouldn't have this on day, what is it, like week 2 right here. We wouldn't be 1.58x up. We'd be down like to 0.75x, right, at least. Now PulseX is a different story. I think PulseX is still down. I don't remember where it says the sacrifice price for Pulse, but I think people in Pulse X are down. I don't remember. If anyone can figure that out, let me know. Let's see here. Be honest, we are 10 years here. It's BS. Yeah, I mean, I'm not entirely disagreeing with you. A lot of crypto is BS. And, you know, I'm not going to sit here and defend Pulse and say, because you do have a lot of people giving you that false hope that Pulse is just the greatest thing invented in crypto, and Richard Hart is the greatest creator, and, like, no, come on now. Let's be honest, it's not. Just taking a look at the charts for today. Honestly, this week has been pretty boring for crypto. It's been a boring week, boring month in crypto in terms of growth of coins overall. The most exciting stuff that's really been happening is like the XRP lawsuit that's going to be happening soon. So that one's kind of been mooning because of its incoming, hopefully, positive result for that lawsuit. And I'm trying to think if there's there's not really been too much other news. There's been news with other countries, like the Vietnam, I think, banning crypto as a means of currency. So yeah, there's been world news, but nothing like game changing. And there's people are of course looking forward to that BRICS currency and this CBDC. But again, I think all those are not really going to affect the crypto market that much, right? It's just, yeah. And then the other thing that we can sort of talk about before I sign off here is ordinals. So you guys know I've been making some videos about ordinals over the past kind of month or so, and I kind of have a love-hate relationship with these things. Like, I think they're really cool, but I also think they're very prototype. They're very basic, and so I don't see these things having real value right now, right? I don't see a reason to like scoop up a bunch of BRC-20s or NFTs here because they're so prototypey, right? They're in such a beginning phase, and we know this because there's new stuff coming out on Ordinals and BRC-20s every day. People are coming up with new protocols, new types of coins, ways to optimize stuff, and I think that over the next couple months we'll see BRC-20s evolve even more and they'll become better. But right now I wouldn't be dumping millions of dollars into BRC-20s or Ordinals. Maybe just a little bit of play money to kind of see how things are going, and it's always good to be plugged into the space so that when we do have another catalyst moment, you're there for it at the beginning, instead of watching people make a bunch and then you're kind of late to the party. So that's one of the reasons why I'm still kind of in Ordinals and messing around with them. But yeah, to be honest, I don't like like, let's see, one of these that came out super popular BRC-20 token was 0xBT. And I looked at this, I looked at it and I'm like, why is this has tons of volume, 15 Bitcoin worth of volume, and like it had 10 Bitcoin in like one day, which is pretty insane. But then I'm like, what does this coin do? Like, why are people buying BRC-20s? And I look into it and it's just more of like meme joke stuff. And I'm like, man, I'm waiting for these coins to have an actual real utility beyond just purchasing. And then today, Ordinals Wallet launched this right here. They launched the dot names. So you have a lot of different dot names you can use. You can have a .btc, .sat, .eth. So you can launch your name on BRC-20. But again, same thing. It's like, why? So here's your dot names right here. You got .btc, .xbt, .unistat, .meta, .pepe, .gua. So you can claim a name, but I mean, like, why? And that's my main question that I have with the BRC-20 tokens before I buy any of this stuff. I'm like, does that have an answer? If not, let me take a step back and just watch for a second, right? But I do still go here very often to follow up on prices, right? I try to look at kind of where the prices are moving. Are the floors moving up or down? How much interest is this generating? And there's more interest, more volume, more people coming onto the ordinal space. But we're still not at that point where I'm like, this is super exciting and super innovative and revolutionary. Right now, it is just files on the Bitcoin blockchain, which could become something. But right now, nobody's come up with a good idea or a good template of what to do with BRC-20s yet. They're still in development for making it more efficient and usable. So if you guys are interested in what my thoughts on BRC-20s over the past couple days, that's kind of my thoughts on these things. Pulse is moving back up. Let's look at the pulse chart here. You guys want to look at the 1 second chart? I like looking at the 1 minute chart. There we go. Kind of see where things are moving in the past couple minutes. So you have some upward trajectory over the past kind of 30 minutes or so. Actually, over the past like hour and a half or so. And I also like to do this. You guys saw me do this on my other video. If I type in $10,000, this is a good metric to kind of find out how are like big buys happening in Pulsechain. Are we having big buys? So these are in the past kind of like 2 hours or so. We have a lot of $10,000+ buys in here, right? And then, you know, you always got to look out for these gigantor sells. This is $113,000 sell. I always scratch my head when I see these. I'm like, did this person do arbitrage? Because they're selling a lot at a very low price. But the good thing is, like, we saw some like $700,000 sales earlier. That was these like giant candles right here, but we haven't seen massive movement for Pulse over the past couple days, which is both good and bad. The volume is also down for Pulsechain, right? It's below Arbitrum now. Hopefully they can maintain it. Hopefully. Let's see. Free Up Mind says it's scaling ETH the same as McDonald's, Burger King, and many others. You're talking about Pulsechain is scaling ETH? Yeah, I mean, yeah. What is my travel channel? My travel channel is How to World Trip. I might link it on my... I told myself I'm not going to mix the channels together because I really want to try and grow my travel channel alone, like without any help from using this channel. But honestly, I don't think there's too much cross audience in here, so my travel channel would be right here. It's How to World. Whoops.
Fine, but then we'll just clean it.
I really enjoy, like, honestly, I do enjoy making the travel channel videos a lot more than crypto videos, right now at least. When crypto gets more exciting, I might change my mind, but this is it. How to World Trip. Yeah, if you want to check it out, see all the places I went. So basically, I went on this is another reason why I wasn't making videos for the past year. I was traveling the world for a full year, right? It was like 9 months, just going to different countries and stuff, and recording and things like that. And I didn't have as much opportunity to do crypto videos. A lot of places, like, the internet was spotty and stuff. But that was a really, really cool experience. Super, super fun. So, more travel videos to come. I'm actually going somewhere else this summer. I have a lot more videos to make. I only made it about, like, halfway through my video archive with what I have posted there. But that's not here or there. You guys can check that out if you want to on your own. Yeah, but I guess what I'm most excited about for Pulsechain, I was really hoping to scoop up a better price and have some more volatility over these past couple days, but you can't win them all. Obviously, I mean, as much as we wanted, we were all super excited the first couple of days when Pulsechain was just massively going up constantly. You can't sustain this. We gotta have some sideways movement. We gotta have some downward movement. That charts just don't look like they go straight up all the time. So this is natural and good. But even though we didn't have that massive volatility for too long, what I'm looking forward to next for Pulsechain, you guys just saw I had clicked on that video for how to set up a Pulsechain validator. I have all of my equipment. Well, I have almost all of my equipment. The last piece for my validator is supposed to arrive in the mail tomorrow. So hopefully I'm going to get that all set up and running. And then I can give you guys some accurate numbers for what it's like to run a Pulsechain validator. Because honestly, right now, with these cheap prices, I think this is a good thing. With these cheap prices of Pulse, and it might get cheaper, so don't rush to buy either right now. Pulse X. With these cheap prices for Pulse, excuse me, running a validator is a lot cheaper now, right? So how much does it cost to run a validator? So it costs 35 million Pulse. Yeah. 35 million Pulse to run a validator, which is about $5,000. So if you got that, you got a chance to run a validator. If you don't got that, you got a chance to scoop up enough to run a validator. But another thing to note is, before you run off to get enough Pulse to buy a validator, one of the reasons why I'm trying to get mine up and running and make videos about it is because I want to see how much you can make from it. Because again, you have your hexagons and Pulse Bros telling you, if you run a validator, burn all your rewards. I wouldn't do that. Like, if you're running a validator, you're going to be in a negative net return as soon as you buy that thing. So I would sell your rewards for profit. And that's the reason why you run validators. To secure the network, yes, but also to make profit. So hopefully I can give you guys a accurate update on how much profit you can make from running a validator. That's my goal. Because I still don't think, let's see if we can find it over here. This is beacon.pulsechain.com. I still don't know if these numbers are right. Because I know how to read this for Ethereum. And I think that this website is built for Ethereum, and then some things are just changed around to put Pulse in it. And it doesn't work properly because of that. Hopefully, because we'll see soon. If I look at some of these validators, like, they have proposals, which is good. Now, you can't open the proposal, which is pretty crappy, because I can't see, like, how much they're making in rewards. If I open this block, I guess it does tell you how much they're making in rewards, but this number doesn't make any sense. This is where the website's sort of broken still. So it says the trans. Let me show you. Let's make some comparisons here. So we're gonna go to Beacon Chain. This is Ethereum's validator website, and this is Pulsechain's validator website. And we're gonna do the same thing. We're gonna look at a block over here on Ethereum, and you can see that the reward. This is how much this person made in rewards. That's a lot. The person made 1 Ethereum from that reward. So running a validator, especially right now, you can scoop up some of these juicy rewards. Like this guy right here got almost 1 ETH just for proposing this block. That's his for free. 1 free Ethereum for doing nothing. But I like to look at this to kind of see what the reward is and how much you can make from blocks. And since there's not that many validators on Pulsechain, you're going to be proposing a lot of blocks, and just like that 1 Ethereum was a huge reward, you can get huge rewards from proposing lots of blocks on Pulsechain. So let me see here. Yeah, this stuff isn't quite the same. So if I go over here and I look at blocks over here, it doesn't process, right? It just does this forever, so I can't even read it. It's slow. So let's go back. And we can look at... Yeah, the transaction reward is where the reward would be, but I can't read that number. That number's not like a real number. And then if we look at the actual proposer, like you can also find it here. Let me show you. If I look at a proposer over here on Ethereum, it'll give you a nice little chart, tell you how much they're earning. You can look at things in USD or Ethereum, right? This guy makes about $5 a day from his Ethereum validator. And you can see he proposed a block recently, and he made, well, this is too new. It's not going to show it in the chart. Let's look at something a little older. Let's go like this page right here and look at this guy. This guy proposed a block. You can see that this is a big chunky block reward. He made $97 from his block proposal. So theoretically you should be able to see all this on Pulsechain, but you can't see any of that, right? I guess you can sort of see it. It's just that the lines are not here. So yeah, you can see how it's sort of messed up. It says execution income 22,696 Ethereum, which should be Pulse. So how much is that? 22,696. How much is that? So yeah, they're making about $5 a day as well. And that's the good thing about at least, right, if you compare Pulsechain validator with Ethereum validator, if these numbers are right, again I have to check. Oh, let's see, that number's completely different than the other one, so this is why I can't really tell what's going on here. But if they're making $5 a day, then they are making the same amount as Ethereum, but they're paying 10 times less for their validator. And some of these are different right here. Let me check the chat. Sorry, I've been ignoring you guys a little bit. Nice. What's up, Forex advisors? Can you use Pulsechain for anything other than PulseX right now? I don't think so, man. It does take time. Like, it's only been out for 2 weeks, so most of these chains that launch over here, Ethereum, BSC, Arbitrum, Optimism, Polygon, ZK Sync, Avalanche, Solana, they're pretty dead for the first couple weeks, even first like month. And the only thing you really can do is use the exchange and maybe some like niche apps. But the developers usually come within the first couple months, and then you can start doing other stuff with the chain. But I mean, when I say other stuff, I mean just as much as you can do with like BSC and Ethereum. Obviously, in crypto in general, you can't really do much in crypto besides compound your crypto, right? So, yeah, hopefully the devs will start showing up in Pulsechain, and they will. Like I said, this is the turning point for Pulsechain is devs will show up if there's volume. Devs will show up if there's volume. Right now, Pulsechain has $118 million of volume, right? And you got to think about it this way: if I'm a developer and I'm going to make an application on one of these chains, right? I'm probably going to go to Ethereum first because there's $994 million worth of volume. If I can capture 1% of that volume, let's just say I can get $1 million of that volume on my app, and I charge 1% for using my app, right? 1% for transaction fees, then I'm getting what, $10,000 a day from that volume, and that's where volume comes in. If your chain has no volume, right? Let's go to a chain with like no volume, like down at the bottom here, Ethereum proof of work, right? $14,000 of volume. I'm not developing on here because even if I capture 100% of the volume, I'm not getting anything in fees. Like I'm not earning anything from developing over on Ethereum, or what is this, Milko Media, right? So Pulsechain currently does have the volume to attract developers over here. The question is, can it maintain that volume? Hopefully, if it can, then yes, you're going to get more apps on Pulsechain. If it can't, then people are going to say, yeah, screw Pulsechain, I'm just going to put my app on Polygon instead, or I'll put my app on Avalanche instead. Right, so, but the answer to your question is, I don't think so. Like, I don't think there's that many apps out. Again, I'm not the Pulsechain super expert, but so you might be able to follow someone else who's going to tell you, oh, there's 4 apps out that you can mess around with, but yeah. Looking at the coins on Pulsechain, this is what I like to look at too. It's nice to see meme coins and other stuff up here, but I really prefer to see like main coins at the top. If we see too many meme coins, then that just means the chain's a joke. So it's nice to see we have some real coins up here. PulseX, Incentive, Wrap Pulse, Hex, Zen Bitcoin. I don't know what that is yet. Pulse Bitcoin. I don't know what that is either. Pulse Buyout coin. Man, I really wish these rando coins had links to whatever it is. Right. There's a couple other aggregator websites that show you links, like where this coin's Twitter is. I mean, I can look it up. Let me see if I can look this weird thing up. Pulse Buyout coin. Let's see if we can figure out what Pulse Buyout coin is. Oh, we gotta put it in quotes because it's thinking I'm just misspelling it. It's still not doing it right. Let's go to Google. It doesn't say. It's on CoinMarketCap. This might help us. Oh, no, this is CoinMarketCap Dex scan. Yeah, sometimes they have links on here. Yeah, we're never gonna figure out what Pulse Buyout coin is, guys. Does anybody know? This is nice though. CoinMarketCap has stuff on Pulsechain. Who knows what the heck that coin is? Let's go back to the OG. find some nice recovery. Anyway, guys, I'm not going to stay on here that much longer. I have stuff to do. It's really late. But, yeah, glad to see that during the live stream. Look at this. Our live stream is pumping the price of Pulse now. But who knows? You guys think it's going to go down or up tomorrow? If it goes down, I think that we're going to see some new lows. Some new local lows, right? Our current local low is about 0.1. Oh, no, it's lower than that. Our current local low is about 0.14. 0.00014. You think we're gonna go lower than that? We definitely could. Right? We had a nice rally actually on May 28th up to here, and then we lost it. We're starting to get it back again. We'll see. What do you guys think? Bro, the Pulse Miner is doing amazing. Pulse Miner. I don't know what that is. Is that another application? Is there a website or a Telegram for that? First Mover. Yeah, some of these apps that get First Mover are gonna be crazy. See if we can find Pulse Miner over here. Sometimes you can find this stuff easier on YouTube. Pulse Miner. The first Pulse Miner. Pulse Miner on steroids. Yeah, this guy's talking about it a little bit. Let's click on this guy's video. See what this guy's talking about. I just want to see if I can find the link so I can do it myself. Oh, so this is a percent daily contract. Let's see. Pulse Miner. He doesn't have a link to any of this stuff. Come on, man. Yeah, these percent daily contracts, they're really nice if you're there on the first day. But if you're not there on the first day, you might want to skip it. I can't find the website to this thing. This guy does the same thing I do where he cuts off the top. Pulse Miner. Here's another guy. This guy has a link. This guy has an affiliate link. Passive Pulse. So yeah, it really depends for these things. It depends on how long it's been up. But yeah, since they have first mover advantage, pretty much, probably like everybody's putting their Pulse on here because they have nothing else to do with it. Deposit Pulse tokens and receive daily rewards of up to 3% daily. And sometimes these contracts can be good for like a longer period of time. If people keep putting stuff into it. But I mean, for those of you who are like really bad at math, these contracts run out, depending on the referral reward, they run out when they get close to their 100%. So if their daily APR is 3% daily, let's get our little calculator out. 100% divided by 3% daily, which means in about 1 month, everything's going to be gone from here. 1 month from the day it started. And that's not even, wait, I'm trying to think if that's true. Yeah, no, that should be true. Yes. And if somebody like dumps a ton of Pulse in here, then they suck it out even faster than you. Pulse Miner. Thanks for the shout out for that app. Boss up. First mover. Do I think the first pump for Pulse, say 2 to 5x, will take a long time to play out, i.e. next year? That's a good question, Hash. Do I think that Pulse... So here's the answer to that question real quick. I think that right now, at this price, a 2 to 5x is a lot easier to get compared to where we were a couple days ago. Wait. Did you say 2 to 5x or 5 to 10x? Let me see. You said... Yeah, no, a 2x is super easy to get from Pulse right now. Just buy in today and you can get a 2x in like a week. A 5x might take a little bit longer. Honestly, I think those numbers are all well within the range of growth within less than a year. I think the only way we don't see 2x or 5x in less than a year is if we dump a lot. But yeah, I think things have to go really wrong for Pulse for us to go down that low. But 2x is super easy because we were just at 2x a couple days ago. 5x, a little harder, but achievable. And that's really only if we get developers on here. So you can sort of follow along for yourself. If you start to see lots of development, lots of things coming onto Pulsechain while we're rising, then your 5x is going to come faster. If you see like nothing happening with Pulsechain besides PulseX, then maybe take profits a little sooner. It really does depend on daily active users and volume. So let's see if we can, I don't know if we can see daily active users. So it says users 250k. I'm not sure if that's daily, if that's like today. I don't really know what this number is actually, but it does tell you the it doesn't tell you the volume either. Where's the volume at? Yeah, you can look at total value locked too. That's a good metric. Growth, you gotta see growth over time. Growth in all these areas, and that's where your 5x comes from. With growth, 5x is easy. With no growth, 5x will take a year or longer. Yeah, 10x, I wouldn't hold your breath for 10x for a while. That's achievable, but everything has to go right for a 10x. That's my thoughts on that. Alright, I'll answer a couple more questions before I sign off. It's called Passive Pulse. Passive Pulse. See if I can Google that. Passive Pulse. Oh, I think I saw. Oh, I'm already there. Yeah, duh. Here, I found it already. Passive Pulse. Yeah, here it is. Yeah, I have to. If I wanted to join this, I would have to wait until I'd have to see when this thing launched. Let's look at it real quick. See if we can see the launch date. Passive Pulse. All the buzzwords in one place. Pulse Miner. Deposit Pulse and earn Pulse. Up to 3% daily ROI. Let's look at all the tricks and whistles, because I'm no stranger to these things. I've done a lot of these percent daily things. 10% for every referral. So since it has 10% referral commission, ooh boy, that means you're going to drain faster than 30 days. You're looking at maybe 20 days. Yeah, you're looking at 20 days for this thing before it bellies up. Let's see. How to use the bridge, Pulse Miner. Yeah, these are some easy copy-paste contracts. Deposit fee. Oh, there's fees too? Oh, no. I mean, it is what it is. So their deposit... I'm trying to think, where do these fees go? BNB Miner, Baked Beans, blah, 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 blah. Deposit Pulse. Yeah, some, like, these things lasted a long time. BNB Miner and Baked Beans. They lasted beyond their death date a little bit. Depends on how greedy your user base is. Your deposit is not immediately withdrawable and will return a daily rate of up to 3%. Compounding. To maximize your returns, you can compound your miners. This is easily done via the compound button on the DApp. There's no limit to the frequency at which you compound. Claiming. All deposits and claim will require a gas fee in Pulse. Okay, so when you claim, when you deposit, there's a 4%. What? Okay, we know that they claim gas fees, but when you, I'm trying to figure out what this other fee is. Where does this 4% go? Pulse miners locked rewards, the initial holder, 3% daily. Yeah, we know how percent daily works. Referral program, 10%. That's a huge number. You're gonna see a lot of people pushing this probably. 10% referral fee is processed after the 4% deposit fee. King of Fomo is confused. What is this? Where's this 4% going? Is this just going to the dev? A lot of times devs don't like to call it dev fees, so this is probably a dev fee. So if there's a 4% dev fee going in and a 4% dev fee going out as well, and a 10% referral fee, then that means this thing is going to die in 12 days. 12 days from its inception. That should be its death date. It won't die in 12 days if people don't withdraw and they compound more and they're really greedy. But if people withdraw and are not greedy and just take out, to get ROI and plus, it's 12 days. Usually it's a little longer than that death date. Yeah, that 4% fee is definitely a dev fee. Dang. So, personally, if I would have found this in the beginning, I wouldn't go for this just because the dev fee is huge, right? 8% dev fee is very, very large. I'm okay with like a 2% dev fee, but yeah. That's my thoughts on that. If that launched yesterday, then go for it. And it's probably, if it's only a couple of days old, which it probably is, then you can probably get ROI out of here. But if it's like, I would say if it's like 5 days or more old, then I wouldn't jump into this anymore. Thanks, Boss Up. Check it out. It's growing massively. Twitter. Let's see. What else we got? Power City. Power City liquid loans are coming to Pulse. Chain. The chain is just 2 weeks old. Cardano, Polkadot, etc. didn't have products for years. Yeah. That's what I was saying. Deliana Amundsen. Takes time to get this stuff. I'm already making a killing. Yeah, you're probably making a killing on that. Like I said, these contracts are fantastic. They're perfect contracts if you get in early. Robo, and they're also really good if they can if you can get like a dedicated growth rate and a dedicated user base, then they can last a long time, right? These miners can last a while if you can have constant growth every day. But that's a lot harder to do when you have so many fees. Like you need a extremely exponential growth for this thing to survive past 20 days, with 18% fees. But yeah, if you're making a killing, man, keep pulling it out. My advice to you, if you're already in this, do not compound. Otherwise, you're gonna lose all your money. Rogo, following this growing. These projects are a massive risk. They're only initiated like Fomo. Yeah, they're massive risks. All right, guys, I'm gonna be done for. Oh, look at this. We're at 0.0016. I'm gonna be done for now. I want to try and go to bed at like a normal time tonight, so I have to sign off a little early here. Let's see. Maybe we'll do another live stream tomorrow. If things get interesting, I probably should do some research on Pulsechain a little bit more before I live stream again, because I'm missing some of that stuff, like the Pulse Miner. I probably should have found that. If I was really on top of it, I would have found that and made a video about that for you guys early, but I missed it. So I gotta follow some Pulsechain YouTubers and see what they're finding, and get it to you guys a little bit faster. But we'll see. Like I said, since I'm doing my travel videos, I'm probably going to work on those instead of look at crypto for a little bit, so I might miss more of the stuff. We'll see what happens. Anyway, guys, I think we'll stop there. I'll definitely do... at the very least, I'll do a update on my Validator and how it's going. As far as setting it up, I haven't decided if I'm going to make a video on that yet, because I'm just going to follow someone else's video. And if I do make a video, I'm just going to copy them. Okay, guys. Well, thank you for watching. Go check this. Growing as we speak. What, are you still talking about Pulse Miner? How do you check the, I'm trying to think, how do you check the, amount in the contract? Let's see, let's find the contract real quick. Contracts, here it is. Team wallets. Look at these team wallets right here. Fee. Oh, there's a fee wallet. See, it doesn't tell us what is this fee wallet. is this fee wallet like feeded back into the system? That makes sense. If that's what the fee wallet is. But if it's a dev fee, then yeah, this thing's gonna die fast. But if it's a fee wallet that feeds it back into the system, then that's smart, and that will help make it last a little bit longer. Deployer contract. Let's see if we can find this contract real quick. What's the Pulsechain Explorer? Pulsechain Explorer. Then after this, I'm going to sign off for the day. This contract has 832 million pulse in it. That's actually not that much. So definitely can grow a lot more if it's small like this. How much is that in dollars? $166,000. Yeah, that's kind of small. So you might have a chance if it does grow. It's not over bloated as to where it can't exceed its value. If it doubles in value, yeah, you can make a big time killing. Maybe on this. Let's see when this thing launched. This thing launched at. Did this thing launch today? I wish this thing had a last page button. I gotta keep clicking on this. Where's the last page? Oh no, it didn't launch today. This launched at least a day ago. Jeez, how many pages? Okay. Oh, it launched 4 days ago. Yeah, I wouldn't jump in at this point. But yeah, a good way to follow these contracts, if you guys are not aware, I'm sure that Boss Up already knows this, but if you guys are not aware, a good way to see if these contracts are growing or dying is just go to contract address and look at the balance every couple hours. If the balance is, I mean, probably every day, I would say. If the balance goes up, then you're good. If the balance goes down drastically, then it's dying. Alright, so we'll stop there. Thanks for the share, though, boss. I'm glad to see Pulsechain apps. That's what I want to see. I don't want to just see PulseX. What does Pulsechain do that no other crypto does? Well, we talked about that in the beginning of the video, Joshua Daniel. Nothing. But I mean, you can say the same thing for about every other crypto. I'm not. I know that there are people out there that say that Pulsechain is the greatest thing since sliced cheese, but I'm not one of those people. I am gonna be real with you. Pulsechain is an EVM clone with a couple extra bells and whistles, and a lot of other coins are the same thing, and they all do well, right? And we talked about it doesn't really matter what the chain does, right? What really matters is, well, it does matter if it's functional, but what really matters is the daily active users, how many people are using it, and how much volume is going through it. Those are the two things that really matter. What the chain does differently, who cares, right? We've seen a lot of stupid coins do well because of those two things that I mentioned. They have lots of daily active users and they have a lot of volume. And when you have those two things, you have developers get into it, you have people from the outside to get into it, and then you have growth later on, hopefully, right? Hopefully your developers are competent enough to capitalize on the growth. And then the opposite happens. If the opposite happens and you don't have daily active users and you don't have volume, it doesn't matter how fancy your chain is, it doesn't matter how much new stuff your chain does, it's going to do bad, right? It doesn't matter how much development it gets, it's going to do bad if it doesn't have those two things. So that's my response to that. Alright, now I'm signing off for real. Thanks for watching, guys. Peace out. Like, comment, subscribe.